Today I'll be reading my response to the short story To Everything There Is a Season. The short story To Everything There Is a Season is told through an 11-year-old boy who fears of adulthood. The most significant way it's shown in is the fact that he's doubting if Santa Claus is real or not, which upsets him because he wishes to be a child just a bit longer. The characters in this story were the narrator, who was the 11-year-old boy, his parents, and his 6 siblings. Although it seems like a lot of kids, that doesn't change how much the parents love and care for them. One of the most important characters in this story is Neil, who is the oldest in the family, and at the young age of 19, he was already living on his own, earning his money on the lake boats. Living so far away concerns his family, which shows how much they love him. Neil was also not too sure whether he would make it in time for Christmas due to a snowstorm, which worries his family and once again proves their affection towards him. To his father, Neil is shown to be very important in a way that can only be described as unique. Throughout the story, it's shown that when Neil returns for Christmas, he helps out around the house as well as chores around the farm. It's also mentioned that he always obeys every order his father gives him and he never complains, which demonstrates how much respect he has for his father, while some of his other siblings refuse to obey. Respecting your parents is immensely essential because you show your love through respect, and Neil did that in the best way possible, which also made his father proud to have a son like him. After Neil's 3 friends leave his house, it shows that Neil's siblings all jump on him, showing their affection and showering him with hugs and kisses. This proves how much they adore their eldest brother and how they look up to him. Having a role model who demonstrates good attitude and respect is vital because it gives Neil's siblings a chance to learn from him and become good people in their lives. It's also a nice thing to have someone older other than your parents to talk to, especially someone that already knows you your entire life. When Neil took his siblings to their church, even the neighbors recognized him, which means that he's quite respected in their community. Lastly, Neil will always hold a special place in his mother's heart. Since he's her first child, there is no doubt she cares about him deeply, especially living so far and at such a young age. She's always worried for him, which is a typical reaction. Before Neil came for Christmas, the story shows how his mother was worried about him and wanted to make sure her son wouldn't have to stay back because of the snowstorm and get home safely. Neil was portrayed as an outstanding example of a good, responsible, and respectful young man who cared for his family and vice versa. My family does a pretty good job of always making me feel special and important to them, especially my mother. Since I'm the oldest of my siblings, I hold a very distinguished place in her heart, and I'm always the first to help her out with anything she needs. Although there are many special moments we hold, there is a specific moment where my family made me feel like I really belong. About 6 years ago, my second brother was born, and I became really jealous because starting off, I was only 10, and I had another 3-year-old brother who was constantly fighting for my mom's attention. I was constantly fighting for my mom's attention. I had a little breakdown and was just really upset that she wouldn't pay attention to me, but I wasn't mature enough to understand she had many other things going on. She and my stepdad both sat me down and had a really long discussion about how I'll always be her first and that I hold a very special place in her heart. It made me feel a bit relieved, but I was afraid that she was just saying that to make me feel better, because after all, actions speak louder than words. But over time, she and I would go for little ice cream walks, and she would help me more with my homework and even reading me bedtime stories. I didn't realize how much she started changing just so she could make me feel better until recently. It took me long enough, but I appreciate how much she tried for me. At times, my family would also show affection like a hug or a kiss on the cheek, and it would warm my heart because I know that I'll always be loved. And I believe that through the smallest and simplest actions, you can actually show a lot, and that these actions will be remembered for a very long time. There are also quite a few significant moments where my friends made me feel really special and important. I have 2 close friends who I really appreciate because they truly bring the best of me, and I'm never afraid to voice my opinions because I know that they will accept me and respect them. A little while ago, my friend and I were discussing the qualities of a good teacher and just the school system in general, and we both voiced our opinions about the subject. She suddenly spoke about how I'm not afraid to state my opinion, and I returned the compliment, but it really stuck with me. I felt so heard, and when she said that she appreciates and respects me, as well as my personality overall. Comments like this, especially from people who are very close to me, excites me because they don't like me from the outside, but they like specific things about me, especially when they explain like what qualities they like about me. Just makes me so happy and special because like the fact that there's someone out there that wants to hear what I have to say and like understands like why I think the way I think. And this little incident made me realize a few things. So first off is that when someone compliments me from the outside, like for example my mom would say I'm pretty, or just like features or whatever, like kind of compliments that, it's not that like I appreciate those compliments, but it's just something I can't really like control because after all it's like genetics. But like when someone compliments me from the inside, like the way I think or the way I'm so kind or anything on the lines of that, it feels like such an honor to be like recognized and finally understood, or like finally seen the way like I see myself, like someone finally sees it from their perspective. And it's really nice to like have that. And I believe that these types of things are like really precious and they stick to you for a very long time. Thank you.